So he said to me, "What kind of Asian are you?" And I said back, "Well, that's a loaded question. What kind of Asian do you expect me to be? Because anyway you slice that egg roll, I'm still pretty much whatever you want to see. I played many a Far East stereotype. Awkward math genius, cold and calculated kung fu expert, assistant to Dr. Jones, you crazy. You want me to drive? How so? I can give you Tokyo Drift, Jeremy Lin, Mario Kart, Tiger Woods, and blinker left on for about half a mile. I am the foremost expert on all things Asian. The Meiji era and the ban of the samurai, done. Confucianism versus Taoism, I'll give it to you with no slant. What's the difference between Asian stereotype 1 and 2? Well, let me tell you anything you want to know about my culture. Let me tell you in a Mulan-esque soliloquy of me staring in the mirror asking, who is that girl that I see? Let me tell you about Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee and how they're related by blood to me. Let me tell you about being so marginalized, it's to the point of I really can't believe that's Asian. Let me tell you about derogatory terms and origins of words such as chink and gook. Let me tell you about the struggle of Asian parents not knowing the language, so we ate pet food because it was cheaper. Let me tell you about the job of interpreter. When you're still playing with Lego blocks, but your English is already that much better than your guardians. Let me tell you about honor and dignity. Let me tell you about a society that projects us as nothing but the secondary role and never the leading man. Let me tell you all the things you don't want to know. Like how chink comes from the clanking of metal to railroad as the slaves built train tracks for this country to be connected. Like how the zipper head down the street is called that because the way our heads split open when struck with assault weapons, or how Jeeps ran over and left marks across corpses and someone clever thought that we were only good to unzip. Like how every time you lump an Asian person into one culture, it's systematically making us assimilate into an America we thought was better than our war-torn home, and every time you confuse me with some other nationality that I might share similar features to is stripping away my individuality, and I still feel the shame of being Asian, the heat and pious dedication of June 11th, 1963, the envy of blonde hair and blue eyes, and I still remember thinking where all the boys who looked like me on TV were. The broken words from my mother and father stage diving off of my tongue, the anger I felt when those kids thought I would get them sick, and I still feel the ash of the incense burn my hands when I prayed for my family, and I still remember thinking my skin was what I was worth, and I still feel the ironwork of my bones grow stronger with every train of thought that passes by, and I still feel pride, and I still feel heritage, and I still feel Chinese, and I still feel Vietnamese, and I still feel American, and I still feel
The first time I ever danced with a girl, she leaned in close and asked me, "Why are your arms so stiff? Dancing with you is like dancing with a mannequin if they made mannequins super bony and with very sweaty palms." And to be fair, my palms were sweaty and simultaneously ice cold. I was and continue to be a miracle of physics. Who knew that both hands could be supported by wrists that a 5-year-old or baby duck could easily snap? This may be a small part of why I spent my teenage years absolutely failing with women. In middle school, I would ask girls I liked how much they weighed to see if I might weigh more. Numbers made me excited. I loved math. I used to think this meant everyone else loves math too. In high school, I became intimate with the friend zone. With one girl, I spent so many years in the friend zone, I didn't even realize I was in it. She was from Sweden, so I guess it was literally Stockholm Syndrome. I would come over to her house and help her with calculus, and I would comfort her and tell her how she was beautiful, or how her boyfriend was a dick, or how integrals are related to derivatives. Eventually, I spent so much time in the friend zone, I grew to think of it as some kind of magical home away from home, some lush forest filled with unicorns and elves and puppies, none of whom were getting laid. I was on an adventure, constantly uncovering new questions about this mystical place. Are you in the friend zone if they're sleeping with other people and not telling you about it? Are you in the friend zone if they tell you they would totally marry you in 15 years? Why would you marry me in 15 years? If in 15 years I'll still be a virgin because you never slept with me. A few months after my first girlfriend and I broke up, I heard that she lost her virginity to the next guy she dated. And at the time, I thought of this as a betrayal, not her choice, as if she owed me something. A newspaper column once defined the friend zone as follows: She discusses her love life with him and has the audacity to ask his advice on it. He performs favors for her. He does everything a boyfriend would do, but gets no benefits. As if the only reason to be a good friend or a decent fucking human is if you get something in exchange. Come on. The problem is, when I started thinking of myself as a savior, I ended up thinking of myself as a savior with a salary. You put in your hours as a nice guy, and sex is just a living wage, but sex is not a transaction. Sex is not a handshake to seal some deal. That girl did not owe me anything. Last year, I heard that her home was broken into in a neighborhood known for sexual assaults. Nothing happened to her. We all know the statistics. Your rapist is more likely to be someone that you know. The boogeyman, the stranger in the alley is real, but not as real as we are. We all know the statistics, but we don't know how to accept how easily we become part of the problem. You cannot kill a monster until you are willing to see it in the mirror, until you recognize its shape in your own skin.
Scripture suggests that the return of Jesus is near. But like, what if Jesus was already here? Like, what if Jesus decided to reappear as a prostitute and spend her evenings on a stroll? Like, what if she walked past you carrying a clutch purse instead of a cross, or had a camel toe instead of a donkey? Would you notice her? Would you speak? Would you get down and wash her feet? Or would you deny her of her divinity? Would you consider Jesus more trick or trinity? Like, if she exposed all of her holes, would you call her holy or whole? Like, what if Jesus had 12 children and no disciples? Like, what if she was from next door rather than Nazareth? Like, what if she used Viagra to raise Lazarus? Like, what if she turned her rent money into malt liquor rather than her water into wine? What if the first time her temple was turned into a marketplace was at the age of 9? What if Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Little John wrote a hip-hop song about her rather than a Bible verse? Would you bother to ask her name? But see, this isn't criticism about Christians. This is 100% about Kenneth. For the times I was too embarrassed to kiss my mother in public. For the days I would pray she wouldn't come to PTAs or school plays because I was too afraid of what folks might say. For the times I was too scared to care because I was ashamed of her career, ashamed of her tears, ashamed of her fears, ashamed of her crack pipes and beers. This is for the days that my hands were just too holy to hold her near. But how do you worship your mother when her name ain't Mary? And she ain't married, ain't dating, ain't even collected names from all the men that she's been mating with. How do you stand on stomach? You know, every trick your mother flipped to ensure food match your mouth. When you know that her knees and bowels were not used for praying. See, my mother, she ain't never hang on a cross, but she's been nailed in public a few times. No, she ain't never been crucified, but I know a few crews that tried, and my gym teacher was one. So was the deacon, and a few married men creeping, I guess from being fucked by Judas is on your daily to-do list. You become really familiar with the crowing of cocks, but what if Jesus came back as my mother? Like, what if Jesus grew a few extra scars just to prove that all our faith had flaws? Like, what if Jesus' greatest miracle was giving her son everything he needed to live, even when she had absolutely nothing to give? And if you can worship a God that sacrificed his only son to save some sinners, then surely you can worship a sinner that sacrificed her soul to save her son.
When it comes to motherhood, I do not hesitate to say that I would want to raise all boys. I would want to be a mother to all sons.
If I've learned anything about being a man, it is that being a father is designed to be a contact sport, and far too many of us retire before we even see what the field looks like.
If I've learned anything about being a woman, it's that no matter how empowering I seem, my existence was designed to never stand a chance. When the state of Ohio found two 16-year-old boys guilty of raping a 16-year-old girl, both boys cried their eyes out moments after the verdict.
Every major media news outlet coddled them instead of the girl they raped.
CNN was grieving over the death of their futures in football. They said nothing of the cemetery growing inside the body of the girl, nothing of the graveyard where she will bury her trust in men. Rape culture is the worst kind of teacher our kids are learning the most from. It teaches women that it's their responsibility to not get raped.
It teaches men that boys will be boys.
It teaches us that a short skirt and a smile is asking for it. It teaches us that it's not wrong unless someone comes to her rescue. And this is why I want all boys, because it's moments like these verdicts that make me numb to my own anger.
Afraid to even talk about this out loud.
The part where our first line of action as a people seeking justice is to trust the police more than we trust our children. It's to make children out of the prison cell instead of showing them the way home. It's to use juvenile detention centers as an excuse for free childcare. The part where we celebrate our decision to throw another black boy into a cage and trust that prison will teach him how to respect women better than we ever could if we didn't give up on him. Jails will not fix broken people. Jails will break them harder.
Until all of them are shards of mirror hurting everyone around them.
No wonder we can't see our reflections in their mistakes. Where do you think they learned this from anyways? I'll be damned if I stood here and said that I only had the capacity to love someone who's only been at the edge of the knife, at the barrel of the gun, and not have enough love to go around for the one who's holding the weapon.
And ask where did they get that from? Who taught them how to use it like that?
I'm not saying to feel sorry for anybody, and I'm not going to apologize for the way I feel about an issue as complex as this one, as complex as we are. I'm saying that one day I'm going to be a mother, and I'm going to have a son. And if I don't raise him in a community that will help me teach him how to unravel himself from his sexism, from the rotten parts of his masculinity, if he doesn't learn better from me, then what rape culture will teach him when I'm not looking.
And he is as good as crooked cop street.
As good as jailbird,
Sex offender.
wife beater, hopeless case, caged dog. He is as good as the next brown boy sobbing on the witness stand, apologizing to the girl that he raped,
Swearing he didn't mean to do it.
promising that his mother taught him better than that, hoping that somebody in that courtroom will forgive him for what he has yet to learn.
I remember the bed just floating there. Apart, 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 apart. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. For example, homework, 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 see, nothing. Our existence, she said, is the same way. You watch the sunset too often, it just becomes 6 p.m. You make the same mistake over and over, you'll stop calling it a mistake. If you just wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, one day you'll forget why. Nothing is forever, she said. My parents left each other when I was 7 years old. Before their last argument, they sent me off to the neighbor's house, like some astronaut jettisoned from the shuttle. When I came back, there was no gravity in our home, beds floating. I imagined it as an accident. That when I left, they whispered to each other, "I love you," so many times over that they forgot what it meant. Family, 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 family. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. This became my favorite game. It made the sting of words evaporate. Separation, separation, separation. See, nothing. Apart, 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 apart. See, nothing. I'm an injured handyman now. I work with words all day. Shut up. I know the irony. When I was young, I was taught that the trick to dominating language was breaking it down, convincing it that it was worthless. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. See, nothing. Soon after my parents' divorce, I developed a stutter. Fate is a cruel and efficient tutor. There is no escape in stutter. You feel the meaning of every word drag itself up your throat. Separation. Stutter is a cage made of mirrors. Are you okay? What do you say? Come on, kids, spit it out. Is a glaring reflection you cannot escape. Every terrible moment skips upon its own announcement over and over until it just hangs there, floating in the middle of the room. Mom, Dad, I'm not wasteful with my words anymore. Even now, after hundreds of hours practicing away my stutter, I still feel the claw of meaning in the bottom of my throat. I've heard that even in space, you can hear the scratching of an I love you.
I had a therapist tell me once, it was ironic how much love I gave out, because I didn't give much to myself. She laughed, like self-love was a sick joke. I chuckled, then cried at home. I had someone tell me once I could not love anyone else until I learned to love myself. This time I got to laugh. This time the sick joke was mine, was me. Might as well wait forever. I remember hating myself at the age of 7. Journals filled to the brim with criticisms by 8. I had enough pages to stitch them into wings, to fly close enough to the sun to see my tears turn to steam, felt the wax burn on my shoulders and mold into thick skin. I was 9 when I wanted to die. 13 when I found a solution, figured if I could cut my legs enough, gravity would let me go. When it didn't, I tied a pillowcase around my neck, twisting like the rope swings I knew so well from childhood. Heard my heartbeat pound in my ears like a warning drum, then fade. I'd almost convinced myself I'd done it. When I started writing, I smeared my blood on every page to remind myself that everything beautiful has a consequence. I'd hoped to stall the clotting long enough to give myself to the craft and let myself go. I have died so many times. So when I told you that loving you almost makes life worth it, I was not joking. When I tell you that loving you almost makes me forget how much I hate myself, it is not poetry. Loving you is taking all the love I could never give myself and putting it to good use. It is reminding myself that if someone can love a dying thing this way, can hold the Lazarus of my body and give thanks for the way it holds back, if someone can kiss the scars, administer the pills, absorb the bad days, and wake up smiling next to me, then I can try to breathe again. Because self-love does not always come first, or second, or even ever. But your love be the guardrail on the ledge, be the drawers that hide all the sharp things, be the body that carries my collapsed frame into bed, be the flowers you bought. Because even though they are dying too, they still dance. Love will not heal me, will not wipe my slate of a body clean. I will always be a woman of wounds, of rope-marked neck and melted skin. Love will not heal me, but it will hold my hand if I ever heal myself, and maybe teach me a joke that I can stay alive long enough to laugh at. I love you enough to want to love myself too.
If I could find the spot where truth echoes, I would stand there and whisper memories of my children's future. I would let their future dwell in my past so that I might live a brighter now. Now is the essence of my domain, and it contains all that was and will be. And I am as I was and will be, because I am and always will be that nigger. I am that nigger. I am that nigger. I am that timeless nigger that swings on pendulums like vines through minds of booby-trapped minds that are enslaved by time. I am the life that supersedes lifetimes. I am. It was me with serpentine hair and a timeless stare that with a mortal glare turned mortal fear into stone time capsules. They still exist as the walking dead, as I do, the original sufferhead, symbol of life and matriarchy, severed head, Medusa. I am. I am that nigger. I am that nigger. I am that nigger. I am a Negro, yes, Negro. Negro from necro, meaning death. I overcame it, so they named me after it. And I be spitting at death from behind and putting kick me signs on its back, because I am not the son of shaklack clack. I am before that. I am before. I am before. Before death is eternity. After death is eternity. There is no death. There's only eternity. And I be riding on the wings of eternity like, yeah, clack, clack. But my flight doesn't go undisturbed because time makes dreams defer. And all of my time fears are turning my days into daymares. And I live daymares, reliving nightmares that once haunted my past. Clack, clack, time is beating my ass. And I be having dreams of chocolate-covered watermelons filled with fried chickens like piñatas with little pickaninny sons and daughters standing up under them with big sticks and aluminum foil, hitting them trying to catch pieces of fallen fried chicken wings. And Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben are standing in the corners with rifles pointed at the heads of the little children. Don't shoot the children, I shout. Don't shoot the children, but they say it's too late. They've already been infected by time, but this shit is before my time. I need more time. But it's too late. They start shooting at the children and killing them 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6. But my spirit is growing 7 by 7, faster than the speed of light, because light only penetrates the darkness that's already there, and I'm already there. I'm here at the end of the road, which is the beginning of the road beyond time, but where my niggas at? Oh shit, don't tell me my niggas got lost in time. My niggas are dying before their time. My niggas are serving unjust time. My niggas are dying because of time.
The J.R. Wood Group of Senior Life Insurance Company offers final expense life insurance coverage for individuals ages 0 to 85. To apply for coverage, no medical exam, no physical exam. Just answer a few simple health questions to qualify. Apply by phone or schedule an in-home consultation. We provide products to fit your needs and your budget. Just call the J.R. Wood Group today. And remember, we've got you covered. 1-800-971-8028. That's the J.R. Wood Group. 1-800-971-8028.
The book, titled Adulterated, chronicles the love affair between Adama and Ahmad in the riot-filled streets of Baltimore City. This Amazon bestseller tells a thrilling tale of a whirlwind romance, wrought with social and political drama. Adulterated is now available on Amazon.com. Sex, love, scandal, adulterated. Get it now on Amazon.com.
Yeah, whatever. This is SoapBOX poetry.
This is SoapBOX poetry. You speak outside of the box. What's up, family?
Forget this. Forget this.
Oh, okay,
Tyler,
let's
let
go.
me tell y'all how
what's
Tyler.
up?
Let me tell y'all how Tyler's finally here. Wow, look
Whoa,
at that.
all right, what's
And
up with y'all?
God.
Let's talk about how she disrespectful too. This little midget.
Ooh, you shorter than me though.
This
No, too. Oh,
I'll take it off.
That's exactly why the microphone just
This
broke.
on me.
Yo,
oh my God.
Yo broke the microphone trying to roast
Better
somebody.
fix it with your
But
ideas.
no. But no, let's talk about how
great.
Tyler's real disrespectful. You can follow her at Cozy Ty. You can see how disrespectful.
COZI.TY.
Yes, see how
Jeez.
disrespectful. She
Plug.
don't got no flyers on her. First of all, that's the
For
first
real,
level.
though.
That's the first level
That's
of
different.
disrespect. That's not different.
That's
Second level.
That's a
Second level.
conversation.
Second level of disrespect. She gonna invite me out to Chick-fil-A and not buy me my food.
That's
crazy.
crazy. I
Third
fully
level.
did though.
But
I
you
bought
gave
your
me an
food.
ultimatum. You were giving me $25 and be like, "Oh no, how about I just pay for the $25 and you can keep your own $25."
What is you talking about?
Wait, you can
talking
keep
about?
your own $5. You will see how
I paid for your meal and gave you money.
You gave me money on an account.
You got
okay,
a free meal
so, right,
and money.
Listen,
not you.
it wasn't a free meal. Let me tell you how it wasn't a free
How
meal.
is it not a free meal?
Because
fam?
I was about to. Okay, so
like,
I got
trying to
this
figure out
because
because your
so
wallet
funny.
didn't break.
Right, it did break though. Watch this. Watch this. All right, so I
How
said,
is she
let's
lying
just
on me
put
right
our
now?
meals together and I'll just give you my $5. She said, nah, keep your $5. That's the $5 that I'll just give
Out
you
of the
20.
25.
I'll just give you the 20 out of the 25 I owe you, and you can keep your $5. I
How is
would have
that
had $30, Tyler, instead of 25.
That nigga's goofy as shit.
But you never paid for meals.
I did. You paid for it for me.
Yes.
I'm I'm done.
You
Yeah.
paid for it for me, right?
Okay.
But you not seeing. I'm not saying that you paid for me, but you paid for it for me. Like, I didn't have to physically hand the money, but you had the money and you just gave the extra money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What is? What do you mean exactly? What?
Anyway, that was the
That's
second
so
level
crazy.
of
You're so
disrespect.
ungrateful.
And the third
I'm about
level
to
of
beat the shit out
disrespect is that
I'm about to beat
This-
the shit out you.
this person ain't even a part of the show no more. That's wild.
All right, y'all. Listen, this is my
That's
last
wild.
show.
This
Look,
her last
that's
show.
all of this passive aggressive anger coming towards Mecca
I mean,
right
it ain't
now.
passive.
because
It's right
this
here
is
in
my
your
last
face.
show.
Yo,
And
what is
shit,
he
you know what?
talking about?
Look at my face. Because
That
you got
passive.
that
You
What?
don't curse on the show anymore.
It don't
since
matter
you
because it's
haven't
my
been
last
here.
show. I'm fucking Rick James, bitch.
Oh
it don't
my
even matter.
God.
Yes.
Okay, so you just
What
gonna
a
disrespect
phrase.
my shit on the
Oh my
process?
God.
In the process?
Come on, let me beat the shit out you. Disrespecting the shit out of me.
How did I disrespect?
Acting like
None of those
I'm
were even
not
insults,
loyal.
though. They were just straight facts.
They wasn't okay, but you acting like I did you dirty in like multiple ways. But we really had a good ass conversation today.
I know.
A good day, and you try to hype it up for the media.
Yes,
and
we are. That's
the
how. That's
problem.
you want.
Oh my
you
God,
want.
That's
image
the problem with the
destroyed.
media.
Listen, you want
That's the
good
problem with the
bad,
media.
Bad
There you go,
publicity.
destroying
Good press and bad press are the
images,
same
yo.
thing. And you know what?
Mhm.
Y'all just try to tune in and fucking try to get this drama occur, but it's not the case.
I'm playing, y'all.
Nah.
I'm playing. No,
We out
you know
here.
what? It's cool.
I will
we out
see you
here.
outside. I will see you
You
outside.
will see me outside because we both gotta leave the same way. No, but no, it's cool though. It's cool though. We appreciate you, we love you, and all that stuff. You can leave now. It's like,
Wow,
nah,
llama
don't leave.
bean on top of your head right now.
What
What's
are you
good?
talking about? Why? I just
Got the
complimented you. Well,
creeping
not
the
even
ceiling,
compliment. I just said that we loved you. And this don't even look like a llama bean. First of all, my hair wrap look like a nice head wrap.
You got the sealy braids creeping out the head wrap too.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Did you say seaweed?
Sealy.
Who's that?
Really? You sure?
All right, chill though, cause now my head hurt with all this controversy and all this. Oh no, I broke it. I broke the because we usually would have a didn't we have like how many days
make
since
my
I've
body
snorted
ache.
on air? How many weeks? Damn,
Yeah.
I messed up. It's all your fault.
You make my
That was
teeth
the
hurt.
fourth. That was the.
Y'all
Oh yeah,
like
yo
my
got
braces.
braces.
Yeah.
Yo got
My
braces.
teeth
Yo
hurt
real
so
cute.
bad.
Yo got the bootleg grills
Shut
on.
the fuck up. I really do be thinking I got grills sometimes though.
You can
I be
say
showing
I
these
mean
shits
they're
like I
cute
got
on
grills.
you, yo. You look
I hate
cute.
braces. They are the most painful shits ever.
I thought you really wanted them though.
I did. I
Carlos
do.
so
I do.
Carlos
Like, yo,
Look at
I
you
had
coming
them. I
out the
was with none of that.
No,
shadows.
Carlos shade is just so
Nah,
funny
I had them
because
before.
it's
I
like-
wasn't with none of that. I told him to take them off.
I hate for real. Me too.
But your
I'm thinking
teeth are
about
so
it.
straight.
Yeah, yours is straight.
Yeah, they
as
just
fuck.
tried to get money from me for real. I'm like,
Yeah.
Nah, you said I'm already.
How long
beautiful.
How long did it take for your teeth to get straight?
they was already good, yo. They were just, I'm gonna throw them on there. And I'm like,
Could you imagine? I couldn't. If I had braces, I'll be like, I wonder what my poetry name would
did
be.
they tell you put rubber bands in your mouth?
Not yet. But why I gotta do
You
that?
think
They
it-
said my
think it
bite
hurts
was-
now?
I would. I
No.
would definitely. Don't you have to like have those on for like 1,000 years?
No, because I'm gonna take them out on my 21st birthday.
How old are you now? Oh yeah, you're 20. Oh,
So I got
that's true. That's
7
true.
months.
Oh,
My
okay.
bottoms is gonna be good by that time.
Mm,
Maybe not my tops. Maybe.
I don't
We're gonna
know.
figure it out though. This snuggle tube going at least,
They
come
gonna
in the
call
tune.
you. They gonna call you the train track poet.
Oh
Big.
my God.
About to take you up.
Train track.
That's why you walk fake
Train
Giuseppe's
track.
and fake ass Balmain motorcycle jeans. I'm about to get.
Nobody
Like,
can
oh.
see it.
Why you looking so
Motorcycle,
pasty, like
what?
lukewarm in
Nobody
your
can see.
expression?
Cause
Nobody can see
it. Nobody can
Hey
see
yo,
my
everybody
crust.
follow me on Snap. S
Yo,
No.
PSY.
But didn't we have a beautiful day?
CHASPP. Yes,
we had a beautiful day.
Mhm.
We had a beautiful day. We had our little conversation and we went to go eat.
We went to a beautiful. Well, it was a long walk, and she had bare arms, so it was really. It was a
I
brisk.
wasn't
It was actually. It
cold,
was literally a
but I
brisk
wasn't
walk for her.
cold. All right.
And then we went to. Where did we go?
we went to T-Bob. T-Bob is a black-owned restaurant downtown.
Sunny Gilliam.
Yeah.
How you know that?
How do I know it's black owned?
Yeah.
Cause I wrote down a list of black owned businesses so I could go there.
Oh, okay.
See that? Keep that dedication.
I just knew the name. That's cool.
Keep that dedication.
We have some really good tea.
Wait, what's the woman's name again?
Sunny Gilliam.
Oh, that
spelled
sound like a white person.
SUNNI.
That sounds like a white person.
She is a beautiful black woman.
I know.
Who is
I'm
natural.
just saying that I would assume it wasn't a black owned business.
Crazy. Sunny Gilliam does not sound white. Sunny is not a white woman name.
Is it?
Sunny is a white man name.
Yeah.
But if I said it's a she, you should and it's spelled SUNNI. White people not that creative.
Oh gosh.
I'm serious.
You leaving the show real crazy though.
What you mean?
We got white listeners, and we love them.
Are any of you guys named Sunny SUNNI? Call now at 410-929-7806.
Yo,
Wow.
Yo, Eric.
Okay.
It's like, no, we stop. But I got some good news though. Shout out to the Baltimore Crown Awards.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See,
the show got nominated for an award, y'all.
Acting like she didn't have a really good day today.
I didn't.
You fully did. You got nominated for 3 awards.
My friend telling
and
me. And
the SoapBOX Poetry Radio Show is one of those nominations. So
first of all, my friend told me she don't want to be with me no more. She broke up with me today.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't say I'm breaking up with you.
You broke up with me.
I never claimed you. It's like,
oh man. Oh man. It just gets worse.
Oh my God. Can we please talk about awards?
Yes, awards. So the Baltimore Crown Awards, this is their 11th year. They are really like just the amalgam, I think that's the word, just like the real container of all the artists in the Baltimore scene, and they pay attention to everybody. There's really no bias. So I got nominated for Under the Radar, and SoapBOX Poetry Radio got nominated for best online radio show. Shout outs to us. And also I got nominated for best group for the youth poetry team. So yeah, 3 awards. That's lit. Only one of them by myself. I hope I get that. But I need y'all to like really go. Yeah, here go the plug. You ready to get electrocuted? Plug. Okay. You see what I did there?
No. You should just be like, plug it in.
Plug it in. Ah, that's cute.
You already knew.
You really good though. Look at you.
You're
real special. Oh wait, I gotta change the beat. Oh no, not that.
Alright, this number's been changed.
Yes. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, plug it in. Plug it in. Okay, so I need y'all help. If y'all like me, y'all really like me and my art and stuff, you can vote for me Under the Radar at thebaltimorescene.com. You can vote for whoever you want to, for real. But I would prefer you voted for me because I'm pretty cool and I'm doing stuff. Yo, so let me tell y'all how I tried to start like a workshop for for our show, like the poetry workshops. And it was this place that I hit up first. They had little rec centers for the little kids or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be down to teach some little kids. So hey, can I sign up to have a program here? So the woman's like, oh, you a poet? Do some poetry. I'm like, no, please stop. In my mind, I'm just like, no, ma'am, please, no. She's like, but do a poem. And it's like, I just wanted to talk to you. I don't feel like performing right now. But I feel like that's real disrespectful. I just feel like it's so disrespectful among artists to be like, yo, you can do it right now. I'm like, man, come on, pay me. What's your budget? Can I know your budget first? You good, yo?
What you mean? Looking at me while you're saying the story. I already heard the story.
You did?
Yes, you already told me the story.
Oh.
Yo, why?
Well, Carlos, what you think? I hate both of y'all. I just want.
The story
like
is lukewarm. It's okay.
It's lukewarm.
It's okay. Like nobody is at home. Like, oh, I hate. Like,
oh my God, you're just so disrespectful. I just want to stop doing radio now. I feel like I really should.
No,
it's cool.
It already got nominated. It's too late.
It's too late. And you say if it wasn't too late, you say you're telling me I shouldn't.
Obviously, it has some credibility applied to it, so you should definitely keep going. We have great features and what is it? Hosts, guest hosts. Yeah. Speaking of which, can you plug in the guest host today, please?
I mean, if y'all wanna, if somebody wants to be a host on here, you can try it out if you want.
I'm talking about the guests on the show.
Talking about today.
Oh, you're right.
Find out.
You absolutely right. I'm sorry. I got distracted because I wanted to roast you so bad. So this is why.
Crazy.
This is why you
So
here.
fire is in your eyes.
But anyway, today.
I've been watching Naruto though. So
in an hour.
Can
Can you be quiet?
What?
So I
Nine
can do,
till
can
Fox
you be
right
quiet?
What
Can
is
you
he
be quiet?
talking about?
Can you be quiet so I can do what you asked me to do? Anyway, hi y'all.
I can relate
Back
to
to
Naruto
y'all.
in so many
So
different ways.
we are having Marcus Ruff on the show today.
Plug.
Oh my gosh, Marcus is so lit. I met Marcus at and during a job, a gig up in DC, and you know they're so talented, and I can't wait to talk to them. I do miss them, and I'm not gonna do this again. Hold up.
I want some matcha.
What is sriracha?
Matcha. I said matcha, and matcha is grounded up green tea.
Why
You
do you
can like
know
make it like broth.
You just know so much about random stuff that I don't know about.
I like tea, and I used to run a tea house.
No, I mean not even like that stuff. You know a lot about life.
I don't know a lot. That's a lie.
I think you know a lot about like life hacks and art.
Okay, so if you go to Chipotle, get a burrito. If you want a burrito, get a burrito bowl. That way, with a tortilla on the side. That way, eat what you can, and then what you don't eat, wrap up the burrito yourself. The tortilla is free. That's a life hack.
That's dope.
Right? Changes your life. And Carlos such a smart ass, yo. Whoa.
No, that's actually how he reacts. That's the crazy thing.
Are you gonna take that life hack advice?
I don't eat Chipotle.
Yeah, you know, I don't even go through this. So
I can't eat Chipotle.
maybe
anymore.
one day.
Oh, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try to get some Chipotle tomorrow. I'm not playing.
You will brace yourself.
I'm going to
Get it?
pop a ibuprofen.
Wait, no, do you get it? You got it.
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself, braces.
Jeez.
Yo.
Don't snort it all in one place, please.
Oh yes, I like the way that sounds.
You so ready.
I am. I like the way that sounds. People have been questioning me about my relationship. I'm just so hurt. I am a gypsy.
You the fuck are not.
Yes, I am. You know
How
how
you
many
know?
times I've moved?
How many times have I moved? If you a gypsy, I'm a gypsy. I moved 14 times in my life.
13.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what's the deal? You just
Okay.
might be nomadic. Don't mean you're a gypsy.
I'm a gypsy. Because I'm a Gemini.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm a Leo.
All right. Leo
Wow.
suck anyway.
Girl,
Leo, Virgos.
Gemini are literally evil. Like,
Leo, Virgos, and Libras. I hate.
Libras
Well,
are
only
also
men.
evil.
Only the men though.
Virgos are evil, but Leos are like
Y'all,
Shirley
you can
Blunt.
be. It's an either or thing for me.
Leos have good intentions,
I guess.
and we loyal.
I don't think so.
I be trying my hardest.
You be loyal?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
sure
loyal
about
as-
that?
I'm loyal.
Are you sure
AF.
about that? Where was you last week?
Wow,
Yo,
in
was in DC.
I was trying to get
At
my
a
life
art-
together.
At an art
I had to
venue.
get my life together on that show on the professional tip in DC. So
What
I had
did
to-
you do?
You be in DC all the time. How come I can't?
Not
go to
on
DC?
Mondays.
Listen. That's the only day it was, and it was free. I had to go.
Okay. All right. I guess. But like, I don't get Mondays off. You know that kind of sucks.
You are just too much. How about you change the day if you don't get Mondays off?
Oh.
Oh.
That's 'cause what you really try to throw shade at me right
I'm
now.
just saying, like, look, you over here acting like Mondays ain't good or whatever.
Mondays are good. Mondays are perfect. I could be everybody's Monday show.
Everybody's Monday
Because
show.
Tuesdays you got Atlanta. Wednesdays you got American Horror Story.
Wow.
Thursdays you got
How to Get Away with Murder.
Ooh. Or Scandal.
fuck Scam?
I mean, it's on there. Or Empire. When's Empire come on?
I don't know, but I don't watch that no more.
Me neither. I don't think nobody has in a minute.
It's terrible. It's a bad show.
It's gotten like too
No
much.
plug. I'm serious.
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, I'm pretty sure you are because I haven't heard anything about it lately.
No,
like
I
in the
can't.
last.
And people like Power too, but I just don't mess with those type of shows.
I don't know. I think the problem with a lot of black shows is that they have like the same themes and also predictable themes as well. And I'm trying to figure out why. It's so ridiculous. Like the holiday movie that's about to come out with Monique and who else? Lil Romeo's in it, I think. Probably not.
Yo, who care about Lil Romeo?
I mean, Lil Romeo, he a cool dude. He's not like Lil Bow Wow.
He not Shad Moss. But
oh
who
my
cares?
gosh, he not Shad Moss.
But I'm saying, like,
are you saying Shad Moss is better than Lil Romeo?
No, Lil Shad Moss is Lil Bow Wow, but he's not Lil Bow Wow no more. Like when Lil Bow Wow became Bow Wow,
he still
it
used
was
the page.
I do. I'm saying
still use. He be like, hey y'all, hey family, I'm doing this today. He's much nicer on the Little Bow Wow page than on his actual page. It's so awkward.
On his Instagram page?
It's
Yo.
like on Facebook and on Instagram. It's just so awkward.
Wow, that's weird. And then
my favorite thing about when people come for Shad Moss is when they be like, shut up, Lil Romeo.
That's fucked up. Please stop. It's not that funny.
It is so funny. It is so funny.
It is really funny. Because let's think about this. Like, Lil Romeo really worked hard in the acting life, right? Like, he had his own Romeo show, right? And he had, like, Honey. And he had a lot of different, like, guest spots. And he put his little brother on along with Master P, right? But Lil Bow Wow shut all of that down when he made Like Mike. Ain't that crazy? And then he started getting into, like, I guess when
I think he did more with his childhood than Lil Romeo. He definitely did more with his childhood.
he didn't do a lot of movies though. But I'm saying, like, he
Who? Lil Bow Wow?
Yeah, he didn't do that much. He did
a lot of movies.
He did Tokyo Drift. He did Like Mike, which was a
He did
box
Meet
sensation.
the Johnsons.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then he did
That's when he was like getting into be a Bow, like he was about to be Bow Wow. That's when he was making. I'm talking about when he was little. Lil Romeo came out with Romeo Show when he was like 12 or something, right?
I don't know. I think he was younger.
Yeah, and then I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
I used to love that show.
hey, yo, watching Flow. That was a good show.
That was a good show. Nice family show.
Mm-hmm.
They did good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Lil Bow Wow like shit on him when he started coming out. He was like, "Oh snap, I'm gonna try to make some money doing movies," and he just was like, everybody was feeding for Lil Bow Wow instead of Romeo.
Yeah, he had like good verses and good songs too. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they
Yo,
plugged
but you
in
know
the
who
songs
really
all the
fell off the bandwagon?
Who?
Orlando.
Orlando Brown is terrible.
Orlando Brown. I don't know what happened, but you know, bad publicity. How do you say this word?
Publicity?
There we go.
It's not bad publicity. It's just, I know that's a hard word to say.
Publicity.
He's just crazy.
Yo, niggas dropping.
He's just crazy.
You need to stop this.
On my face.
Yo, really bad. But yeah, all right. Enough talking about crazy people because we are crazy people. But anyway, you know what it is. This is SoapBOX. Nigga, I'm trying to.
I just really thought, no, not you.
Oh, like
so
right
sorry.
on air. What? Please share with
I just realized we should have talked about the protests in indigenous cultures right now.
Oh, with Dabble?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Why we call it
Day Pal? What?
Staples.
Is Dabble?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I feel so
I'm
bad.
not even gonna.
But I'm really, we should have talked about that more.
I mean, there has been a video that's been being shared on repeat throughout different messages and being forwarded. And it's this woman talking about how they're being attacked, and it's like it's hard. It's really hard. It's horrible. I think everybody should know it is horrible. And what I was thinking was like having us have a show and getting donations for them that get everything that they need. It's hard having to hear about these things and they're so far away. It's like you just want to go and you want to help and fight and be there physically, but I think it's really everybody else's job to try and figure out how to build their resources up and get it to them, and just get it to them as soon as possible.
I think any form of activism is a good thing.
Yeah, especially just talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the more you talk about it, the more
motivation is to do something.
And motivation, and also more people think about it and be like, man, I don't know what I can do right now, but I have to do something.
And you get more knowledge on the subject.
Right.
I feel like
I definitely need more knowledge.
Yeah, throughout this entire thing, I feel like I had to it wasn't really covered by public media.
Of course not.
Media, so I had to search most of it myself. And I'm over here like, man, I wish it was circulating in more conversations.
Yeah, definitely. Well, all right. So we're going to go on break for a little bit because, things happen and my headphones broke. And I can't. I want to be able to hear myself because that's how I know when things are okay. Anyway, this is Soapbox Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box. We will be right back with Marcus Ruff.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to do that anymore.
That's crazy.
Cuts off Mike.
To the man on the bus I overheard in conversation tell a woman, presumably a friend, you are too ugly to be raped. Dear man on the bus, tell the 1 in 5 women of this country that they are beautiful, their 4 counterparts spare torment ugly. Tell the 1 in 3 women of this world that you would not make piñatas of their bodies. Watch morsels of them spill greedily to the famished smiles of your ignorance shaped like bloodthirsty children. How your words hit repeatedly until they broke open like a shattered papier-mâché cradle. Their blood flowed like candy until hollowed inside their jaws mangled into a misfortune from when they tried to scream for their legs torn into a crucifix. Their loud cry of eyes muted. Tell them how beautiful their silence is. Dear man on the bus, from smothering catcalls to a quickened pace of trek home, rape with a dress on, rape without a dress on, raped as children who couldn't even dress themselves. Tell them how ugly their consent was. Tell the depression, the unreported. Tell Mahmoudia, a footnote in crimson Iraqi sands, how beautiful the military silence is and how we don't ask and they didn't tell in the name of country. Tell Elizabeth Fritzl how pretty the flame of her skin was that turned her father into a torturous moth of incest until she gave birth to 7 choices that she never had. Dear man on the bus, tell my 11th grade student Lauren that she wanted it, her beauty had them coming. Tell my 7th grade student Michaela that she wanted it, her beauty had him coming. Tell my 3rd grade student Andre that he wanted it, his beauty had him coming. Tell the 8-year-old me that the God in me I loved fiercely was so gorgeous that cousin twice my age wanted to molest the holy out of me, peeled raw until I was as ugly as she was. Rape is a coward that hides his face in the makeup of silence, a murderous fruit that grows best in the shadows of taboo, a Vietnam prostitute with red, white, and blue skin, a murmur of bodies left vacant by the souls that spend years and years and pills and pills and poems and poems and poems and even death trying to learn how to reclaim them. Dear nameless assailant, this bus carries the burden of your stick and blindfold patriarchy heavy on your tongue, Your words are like a monstrous accomplice thrown up from your throat to the 97% that will never see a jail. Dear man on the bus, as these words fall out of your mouth, I pray that no one ever finds your children beautiful enough to break open and make a silent, decorative spectacle out of them.
My father, was a monster of a man. Self-proclaimed king, built his throne on his children's sorrows. And there were many. It seems like we were always crying back then, always wishing that our father had left us like all our friends' fathers did, then maybe we wouldn't have all these scars, all these whelps and bruises. My father was a big, flared nostrils kind of man. Taught me everything I know, from how to ride a bike to how to keep myself warm with my own anger. He taught us anger and let us figure out love on our own. Kept us locked up like China dolls. The sun burned our eyes when we finally broke free. Seeds planted in darkness never grow quite right, and I'm a wilted flower. With social anxiety and notebooks filled with conversations I've never had, I blame my dad. Grandma told us to pray for him. Asked God to look on his heart and change him. By the time I was 5, I stopped believing people could change. By 10, I stopped believing in God altogether. My father beat the poet out of me. I built my entire story around hating him. After the first stroke, when my monster of a man lay weak and docile on a hospital bed, tears streaming down his face, in 18 years I'd never seen him cry before. And I couldn't feel bad for him. He was the causer of tears. After the second stroke, I stood at the door with my arms crossed, sterile whiteness threatening to choke me. He hobbled around the house scattered-brained, calling his daughters by his sisters' names, the hand he used to hit us with gone numb. His last words to me were, "Jasmine, you know I'm proud of you, right?" I didn't. And by then, we'd grown too far apart for me to care about his opinion. I felt nothing at his pride. My father died. Who told you you could leave me? I still had things to write about. There was the part where I proved you wrong, where I finally cussed you out and didn't let you see your grandkids. You weren't supposed to go yet. Who am I supposed to be without my enemy? You always wanted to talk. Now say something. Teach me how to mourn you through all this anger. You've been gone for months, but I've been festering in this for years. Stop looking at me with your eyes glazed over. Mouth sewn shut from the inside. Arms across your chest, protecting me from your heart.
In 2010, 6 black teenagers drowned in the Louisiana Red River. Researchers found that 70% of black people do not know how to swim, that black kids are 3 times more likely to drown. The question became, why do blacks possess the fear of water? I've heard sharks followed slave ships crossing the Atlantic Ocean, trailing black bodies thrown overboard. I heard during slave time, white masters refused to let blacks learn them to swim because a swimming slave could get away, could swim to freedom, could figure out a way to wade in the water. I heard that little black kids ain't nothing but gator bait. Gator bait let you catch an alligator so big, so vicious, it bite like racism. Black mamas be like, keep your kids out the water, it ain't safe, child. I heard a Jim Crow North and a Ku Klux South kept coloreds out of public swimming pools and off public water fountains. I heard they hose niggas down with a firefighter water hose like you hose down a rabid dog in the summertime heat of New Orleans. I heard come hell or high water, they were gonna watch niggas drown in a hurricane down south. Heard they knew the levees was gonna give in and break, knew the waters was coming to wash niggas away. Tell me, how do a nigga keep their head above water if niggas can't swim? Niggas can't doggy paddle, niggas can't tread water, niggas jump but never jump in. I sprint, you swim, niggas can't float, our bodies too dense. We don't fuck with the rain cause our head just got dead. I heard yesterday in Detroit, they cut the water off. I heard the water don't run. I heard the faucets run dry. I heard kids are dehydrated, niggas is thirsty. Heard they've been gasping for air, been drowning in oppression for what feels like forever. Ever since crossing the Atlantic, been feeling lost at sea, been feeling like a fish out of water, like a body sinking in the deep end, like treading troubled waters, and drowning.
Levitating over the globe, I breathe a broken star. Shattered over a tenebristic world below, I be an atheist god. My self-hate is stronger than a speeding locomotive. I've seen souls leap from project buildings in a single drop because who fears suicide when your home looks a lot like hell, and hell, who's gonna save you? I know. It's gonna have to be me. It's gonna have to be some type of black Superman. Someone to reshape the Statue of Liberty into Coretta Scott, play all sports at all times, go down as one of the greatest of all time, because we black people, you don't have to worry about dying. It's only the symbols that get shot. And it's hard to be faster than a speeding bullet when they're designed to seek out your melanin. And justice never seems to lead with my skin because it's easy to be a hero when you fly high on courts and move fast through field because America likes to move you through courts and hang you high over fields. You try to be a messiah, you'll find your church under fire. Watch the media turn your Martin Luther into Lex Luthor. And it's hard to build new heroes when crooked ideals, what they base their life upon, when their moral high down looks like a burnt down Gotham. This S stands for streets. This S stands for struggle, stands for stolen, stands for sun suffocating so severely something snaps. This ain't no red cape I got on my back. This is a blanket smothered in the blood of black children. I have tried to be there when the world was in its lowest lane, and every time they end my time, I had a dream once. Left it splattered on a balcony. That moment when you don't know if this piece is about black Superman or MLK's ghost. The answer is both, because whenever there's a black hero, the outcome is Malcolm. X marks the spot where you get shot. Do you know what they call a black man who wears a costume? A nigga. Do you know what they call a black man who tries to change things? A dead nigga. Be careful if you want to be Superman. They will put you in a crypt tonight. And your soul will be others who die for your cause, and they will float. Levitating over the globe, you'll be broken stars. I'd be an atheist god because it's death to believe the Jew to be black and a savior. So I ask myself, can I be a martyr? Wear the mask of Martin that attracts bullets like magnetism. Can I sacrifice, be cast as Christ, only to get praised in my afterlife? Because I know longevity has its place, but let me tell you, to know death is certain and still be willing to step in front of the target to free my people from hardship. This is what we do. This is how our heroes are made, so I choose death. Because if the alternative is silence, that ain't living.
So, when I was 10, I had this friend that we looked up to a lot, but whenever we were around each other, we did the dumbest shit and always got caught. I remember once him trying to dive out my bathroom window because my mom was going to whoop his ass. I was on the outside, so all I saw was his terrified face as she pulled him in and away from me. I haven't seen him in 20 years. You and he have the same color hair. When I was 15, I was seeing this girl and my father had forbidden me from being with her, so I called her and she said, I'll leave my front door unlocked. I said, I'll be there just as soon as my father leaves for his 11 o'clock, 12-hour third shift. And as I was making my way across town, a policewoman stopped me to see where I was supposed to be. I gave my girlfriend's address as my own, and I watched as that tough-as-nails officer turned mother figure right in front of my eyes and gave me a ride the rest of the way. My first booty call had a police escort. It's a true story. You and that cop have the same sweet face. I swear it's a compliment. When I was 13, my mom was dying. Waiting to be unplugged like a broken TV set. All the color and pictures that once filled her now gone. She couldn't move. And all I could do is stare at her purple swollen body through double-paned Loyola ICU glass. A nurse noticed my anguish and said, hey kid, let me show you something I bet you don't know. Today, at sunset, your mom's gonna make the entire city of Chicago turn gold. I followed him to the 6th floor of Stairwell 9. We could see the entire skyline. He said, close your eyes. Think of your favorite memory with your mother. And as I did, the sun sank behind us in the west. So when I opened my eyes, the city glowed like a jagged golden moon. And I knew my mom made it for me, at least on that day. Walking back to the waiting room, we had made our impromptu home. I noticed the chapel and ducked inside. Seeing no one, I began to pray out loud. I prayed as loud and as hard as a 13-year-old can. That's way harder than any adult can. I tried to tell God all the reasons I should be able to keep my mother. You can't rationalize with God.
Oh. Hello.
Hello, this is Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. How are you? What's up?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Hey, you on SoapBOX with me, Tyler, and Carlos.
How you doing? Yeah.
You stealing ad libs now. Can you hear us?
This ain't about me.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. How are you feeling? How are you?
I'm doing good. I just got back from school.
Oh, yeah, because it definitely is. Okay, so what's the time zone there? Like...
This is Mountain Standard Time, so it's 6 o'clock right now.
Okay, cool. Okay. I couldn't. I was having so much trouble. I feel so bad. I was like, wait, so I want you to call in an hour? Wait, what time is that? So, yeah, my bad. I miss you.
Yeah, definitely. The Washington, D.C. trip was really awesome.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like even though we were all there, we didn't really have enough time to hang out with each other, and like really get to experience each other. But we did have fun the time that we did have with that little weekend. That was great. So,
yeah, it felt a lot longer than it actually was.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so we always start off with our artists and ask them how did they start doing poetry. Hello?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yes, now.
Okay, so I started doing poetry whenever I was in 6th grade in middle school. Yeah, I had a teacher who I just met that year, and she was my writing teacher.
Hello?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes. She was your writing teacher?
Yeah, my writing teacher, she really was the one who got me into poetry, and I really only did it to impress her. And we started going out to all these different places like cafes and book festivals, and I'd start reading some of the stuff that I wrote. Yeah, and I just, I found it really fun, and I was also going through a lot of stuff at the time, so I just kind of started using that as the only outlet that I had at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, you was trying to show off at first, though. I see you. It always starts out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't always start off that way, but yeah. So I don't know. I think I remember I do use it to impress some people sometimes. Sometimes when I go out, I'll be like, yo, let me show off real quick. And we just and then we can talk about serious stuff. So it's your outlet now, and have you been using it as another form of outlet, and not just poetry, not just for self-healing, but also anything else? Do you talk on like social issues and everything like that now?
Well, I feel like whenever I first started writing poetry, it was very self-centered. It was all about like what I was going through, and I was very focused on my own pain, and I really didn't connect that to the bigger picture. So it wasn't until I got into high school when I got introduced into spoken word poetry. I was a freshman. It was my very first time ever hearing about spoken word poetry. And I joined a group at my school. It was an after-school program that focused on spoken word poetry, and part of this program was just getting together once a week and talking about social issues that connect to natives and just native rights issues. And I started connecting my pain to a lot of outside sources, and I feel like that's whenever my voice and my poetry really grown beyond writing about my individual pain to writing about not only my pain, but the pain of my tribe.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were talking more in depth about that. What tribe are you from?
I am Oglala Lakota Sioux. I'm from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota.
Oh wow. I'm not even gonna. I gotta learn how to say that. I can't. I really wish you were here because I feel like that's gonna take me like a good 10 to 15 minutes. Just like.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have heard about my tribe. We're one of the more popular ones, and a lot of people just refer to us as the Sioux or Lakota. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the Lakota.
So, what makes it a more popular tribe?
Well, I live about 30 minutes away from Wounded Knee. Actually, it's probably less than 30 minutes away, but yeah, I live just less than 30 minutes away from the Wounded Knee massacre site. So a lot of people have heard about that. They probably, I don't think a lot of people know in depth what the Wounded Knee massacre was, but it's just something that we all kind of learn about in history class. And also my tribe is also, we have popular chiefs like Chief Crazy Horse, which a lot of people have heard about, or Sitting Bull is also Lakota. Sitting Bull is also another popular chief that everybody's heard about. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, go. Tyler, you good?
Yeah, I'm sorry. How deeply rooted are you with your culture related to your poetry?
Well, I feel like my poetry has really, like a lot of the philosophy behind why I write and how I write and just the creative process behind my poetry, it has all originated from my identity as a Lakota person. I feel like a lot of my creative process reflects kind of the spiritual process of our ceremonies. I feel like a lot of our ceremonies, I've been studying a lot of the ceremonies and been participating in a lot of the ceremonies, and I found that one of the underlying themes of each ceremony is suffering. And I saw this throughout each ceremony where, you're put through a lot of pain and you're put through a lot of suffering, and you're kind of pushed to the edge where you feel like you're going to give up. And it's at that moment, whenever you feel like you're going to give up, in which you receive your answers or vision. So I took that philosophy and I kind of allowed it to guide my poetic voice and kind of, use suffering as a guide in my poetic voice. And also just the concept of something in my tribe we call Mitaklie Oyasi, which means all my relations. So my tribe is very family-oriented. We're very interconnected, and that's like the underlying theme of my tribe is just this interconnectedness, and everybody and everyone is related. So that's kind of how I see my poetry, is it's both a combination of suffering, but it's also a combination of using that suffering to kind of guide us back to this unity.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's really beautiful. So, what are your inspirations, whether it be people or stories? Like, what are some things that have really changed your writing?
So, I feel like just learning a lot of the history of my tribe and just learning a lot. Like this summer, I feel like my poetry has never been at the point that it's at now. This summer was actually my first time going to see my brother do what we call a Sundance ceremony. So it's my very first time ever going to Sundance. And it's extremely painful and long process, and it's really intense. So, my brother, he was doing Sundance, and the point of Sundance is to suffer for other people who you care about. So basically what's done is the person who is participating in the ceremony does not eat or drink anything for 4 days. Wow. And they dance from sunup to sundown, and they dance with wooden pegs pierced into their chest. Wow. And the pegs are connected to a tree, and they're connected by ropes. So you just have these piercings in your chest connected to ropes that are just constantly tugging on your flesh. And you do this for 4 days without any food or water. And I saw my brother do this, and it was really a powerful experience just to be there and experience that. And I feel like, I sat in them 4 days at ceremony just kind of constantly in prayer. And I had a poem that just kept on kind of coming to me in my head. And, while I was there, I participated in some of the ceremony. And I just felt like, I had this prayer that kind of manifested itself as a poem. That's kind of been like the turning point for my poetry this summer, where I feel like my poetry's never been so powerful as it is after ceremony. So that's been my main inspiration is, I turned my poetry more so into a prayer, and I have to really pray for a poem. And my whole philosophy is that the poems don't really come from me. I feel like, I've asked, it's very hippie-ish to say the spirits, because, I feel like a lot of Native culture has been appropriated by the kind of New Age movement. But, that's the best way to put it is I've asked the spirits to kind of guide me in making my poetry a kind of source for healing from the people. So, most of my poems, they just come from prayer and just kind of opening myself up to the spirits and just allowing them to kind of give me the poems. And I feel like these poems are gifts that they give me so that I can use them towards healing.
Well, I don't think that's I don't think that's hippie-ish at all. Or well, maybe it is hip. It's hip. It's not hippie-ish. But no, because I remember on the previous show on Speakeasy, that was one of the poetry shows here, and shout out to Speak. But yeah, they asked me what was our writing process. And mine was to make sure I would usually pray, and especially if I have writer's block and I want to write about something, it's I would usually pray and be how can I make this poem what it needs to be in order for somebody to hear it and really get what they need from it. So yeah, I think that's very important. I think that's important for us as poets too, to be able to relay that message to people.
Yeah.
So yes, what do you feel are your main goals as an artist, and what your responsibility is with your art?
I feel like it really depends on where I am and who my audience is. Because being Native, it's really living in two worlds, is how everybody puts it around here, where you have the white world that we live in, but then you also have the indigenous world that we live in. And it's really kind of living in both worlds and making them work. And sometimes they don't always work together. So I feel like if I'm here on the reservation and I'm performing for a Native audience, then, I don't have to kind of worry about, educating the audience because, they're native, they don't need to have me preach to them about history and like what they don't know, because they do know it because they're native. So I feel like in front of a native audience, I could kind of go in like more personal and more deeper, and just kind of connect with them in ways that we both understand, versus, going off the reservation or going off to a poetry slam where the audience isn't native. And I feel like my responsibility then becomes to educate the audience, because it's really, I feel like natives are just really not represented that much in any platform, really, like in the media, in our school curriculum. So, it's become kind of my goal as an artist to a non-native audience to really kind of bring that voice of representation on native history and native identity.
Most definitely. And it's an important voice to have in that representation, because it's crazy that you guys have to meet the same standards with more limitations and more, with less resources, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm listening and I'm like, wow, my history class really failed. I'm like, why don't I know?
Most definitely.
It's crazy. Because I remember listening to you even when we were in D.C. I'm like, why don't I know any of this? And it's definitely something I would have liked to have the information for. Especially what's going on right now with Dapple and everything. It's like how, because you were showing me all the different platforms where we could help and everything, and that's something I was really appreciative of. And it's just it's just really so hard and heartbreaking, and seeing this happen, especially you messaged me and you were telling me how it was this month was
Indigenous people.
Yeah, I didn't know like how it is.
Indigenous People Month, or is it like Native?
It's a Native American month.
It's like Indigenous People History.
Native American History Month.
Native American History Month. Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is definitely important way to end the month with our show. So yes, with your writing, how has it changed from being that kid trying to impress that teacher, and like, do you feel like you have how much more have you grown as an artist since then?
Yeah, well, I feel like kind of the middle school era was the era of just kind of being a victim of, different systems that I was oblivious to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was a victim at that age to a lot of systems that you would see kind of keep other people here on the reservation down. But, like, it's like a lot of us just don't really see that, there are these systems in place that keep us down. And, like an example was like, I was using poetry as kind of an escape, from the social welfare system, and just being like from foster home to foster home. And, I feel like it's kind of become normalized on the reservation, where if you're a victim of these different systems, it's kind of, like it's normal, everybody goes through it, and it shouldn't be a part of somebody's normal life to be a victim of these big institutions because you're native. But here on the reservation, it's kind of seen as normal, and you always get preached to about, just getting educated and learning. And, education is kind of seen as the key to finding your way out of this darkness. And I feel like, I went and I got educated. I read and I researched, and it's really left me jaded because, I feel like I've been freed from being oblivious to all these systems. But, being educated has left me jaded because now I see like all these statistics and all these different things. I kind of got to take the opportunity to kind of step back from being a victim kind of, being an outsider looking in and just looking objectively at the situation in which we're in. And that's just kind of what took my poetry and then made it more oriented to the bigger picture. Rather than just being a victim in my poetry and talking about going through foster home to foster home and all these different places, I actually got to research and then incorporate that kind of bigger picture into my poetry, where I talk about how Native children make up less than 4% of South Dakota, yet they make up over 50% of the state welfare system. And how Native children are consistently and illegally removed from their homes and put in white foster homes. I feel like foster homes have kind of become the new boarding schools, because boarding schools have been historically a place of assimilation, and now we see the state welfare system doing this with Native children, where Native children are protected by the Indian Child Welfare Act, which states that they should be placed with Native families as a first priority to retain their culture and retain their identity. And then you see them consistently violating this act and placing them with white foster parents. And then they just kind of grow up not knowing any part of their identity or knowing any of their culture. It's on the bottom line, it's assimilation. So, I got to kind of, as my poetry evolved, I kind of took a more objective stance and kind of took a step back and got to see the bigger picture, and that kind of guided my poetry away from, just kind of being a victim to being somebody who's going to speak out against these different things.
Very important. It wasn't until I went to college until I learned about somewhat of Native American history, whereas I didn't know that Native American people were children were taken off of reservations and put into Christian boarding schools. And I also didn't know that historically 1 in 3 or 1 in 5 Native American women are sexually assaulted on their own reservations and by outsiders. So predominantly by white males, which is wild.
Yeah. I think that's been a huge movement recently. Is the murdered and missing Indigenous women's movement. Well, it's not only Indigenous women, but it's also Two-Spirit people. Pure natives who identify as a third gender. So it's been Two-Spirits, and it's been women who have just been going missing from their reservations. They either get sexually assaulted or they go missing, and then they're just found murdered. And it's been an epidemic, and it's really been happening at higher rates than any other ethnic minority.
Yep.
And a lot of it has been due to pipelines. Whenever you have a pipeline being built somewhere, such as the Dakota Access Pipeline or the Keystone XL Pipeline, when you have man camps being set up for the pipeline workers, and Native women and Native American Two-Spirited people are kidnapped and then sent to these man camps, and then just kind of forced into slavery.
This is colonialism over and over again. It's history repeats itself again and again, and it just goes unnoticed.
That actually reminds me. It actually reminds me of this. When I first started going into African studies and African American history studies, they taught us about how even in the 60s they were going out and they would kidnap black people off the street and then take them to these work camps for 20 years and drop them back off where they found them, or in that area. And it's just really wild how all of this just keeps happening. And it's really irritating.
Yeah, we talk about stuff like the Holocaust, and we're never again and all that stuff. And even though the Holocaust is very powerful, of course, it's 3 million people killed within like
Yeah.
4 or 5 years, but like 10 years. But
but everything, it just keeps happening, but in
Yeah.
different forms.
I know, but we never shed light on the fact that like we can't let other racial epidemics happen again. Also, like the indigenous people epidemic, and also the people of color in general have this history of just being scrutinized and like brutally abused, and like you never hear anyone but the people of color it's happening to say never again. You never hear the majority, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I really just feel like I want to be there. I want to be with the protesters. I hate being so far away. I hate not having a car. This is like I just want to go up there and go fight people and just bust some kneecaps. But I don't know. I mean, you actually taught me how to like what apps to go on to and where to find out how to protest in your own state, which I loved. I was like, yes, I need this. I need to know. Everybody needs to know that. That's why it's like we have to figure out how to really learn how to spread words about different outlets and different platforms that we can talk about these things and how we can get word out and have that's the only way. That is like the only way is to platforms, bigger platforms at that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's too many people. It's just too many people who want to do the same thing, but they're just spread it out.
I know.
And it sucks.
We got to figure out how to do the Coney 2012 thing. Remember that?
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't remember Coney 2012?
No,
I'm sorry. Then it dropped like so quick though.
It was huge though. It was a span of like 12 hours. And it off of one YouTube video.
Yeah.
Everybody was like Coney 20. It wasn't even real. Like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wait,
it was huge.
Okay, but back to Marcus.
No, what I'm saying, like,
yeah.
However that happened is how
I was getting sidetracked because I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. But yeah. So Marcus, what other platforms do you use in order to talk about how you feel and what other ways do you use your art, and not just in writing, but how other ways do you express yourself?
Yeah, I feel like, I'm constantly invited to kind of go, I was invited recently down to Denver by this nonprofit called the Teepee Raisers. Their focus is just kind of bringing in non-native populations in the Denver area. And they hired native speakers who are around my age. And we bring in people and we have different sessions. And I was invited to go down and do a session with a group of non-native high school students down in Denver, and just talk to them about just anything that I want to that involves Indigenous identity. That's been a really cool opportunity to go down to Denver and just talk and educate people who really want to know what their history class or what the media has failed to inform them of. And I'm also working on a book.
Yes.
So I'm using my poetry to work on a book that I am writing right now that's about like Native identity and about environmental issues, and just about like just revolving around the concept of being human, because I feel like colonialism has really affected our concept of what human is. In the Indigenous lifestyle, you were kind of seen as like you are a part of the ecosystem. And I feel like colonialism and assimilation and all these different systems has really bred this ideology of ownership over other living things. And in growing up Indigenous, you're always taught that you share this ecosystem with other living things, and you're not the most important animal that lives here on Earth. There are all these other animals that you live with. So in my book of poetry, I really talk about the concept of being human and how it isn't like really all materialistic and based in consumerism, because I feel like that's ultimately led to the destruction of the earth. Which I feel like is a big thing that you will see a lot of Native American activists and advocates talk about, is the environment, which is what the entire No DAPL movement is about protecting the environment and protecting water. It's been inherently tied into Native American identity that, which I feel like people have kind of dismissed whenever they look at Native Americans, is land is inherently part of Native American identity. It's a part of who we are and our spirituality and how we pray.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a name for the book already?
Yeah, the name of the book is going to be called Anthropomorphine. So anthropo, it's a suffix for anthropology, which is the study of humans. So anthropo is Latin for human, and then morphine is a drug. So I picked that title just because I feel like, the colonialistic idea that human and the concept of human is materialistic and rooted in industrialism and consumerism is a very kind of drug-like concept, because we're kind of inventing new things that make life easier and kind of disregard all the other walks of life that live here on the earth. So that's why I named it Anthropomorphine.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait, because I actually been talking about that with friends. Like, we keep trying to do these things and make us easier. It's also killing us as well. It's this book called Feed, and I love that. I love it to death. But it all ends with them like disappearing into space because they consume so much of the earth. The earth just gives up on gravity, and everybody just goes up into space. It's crazy. That's going to be really good. I can't wait for it to come out. Do you have like a set date for it, or is it already in the works?
So I am starting the book next month. I'm going to be it's going to be in 4 different parts, and the different parts are going to have different themes. So like the first part is going to be kind of about how we're born human, and the second part is going to be about the machine, is what I call it, and how we kind of lose our concept of human through going through this machine. And the third part is going to be about kind of decolonizing. So I'm going to be working on each parts in the coming months. I do not have a set time, but it's probably going to be released sometime next year in the fall.
Okay, awesome. Great.
I'm definitely picking it up.
Gotta pick it up. You gotta tag us in it, and you gotta let us know about it.
Sure.
You have to. And then we'll send you our t-shirts. We'll probably have t-shirts by next year. Or like hopefully in the next month. I mean, t-shirts books beat t-shirt any day, but that is what we have to offer.
We'll do a trade-off.
Yeah, we'll do. No. Marcus' book is going to be like, got that 5-star on the back.
We'll give
the approval stickers, and we got
Oprah's book.
Oprah book.
Oprah book club.
Yeah, like we're just gonna be like, you want a t-shirt? Can we get the book? But yes, do you feel in the future that this project is going to be something that you're going to have to really be putting your all into? Also your whole spirit and like your whole attention towards. Are you in college?
No, I'm a senior in high school.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Good for you. You just ready. You just ready for everybody. Like you're just ready. I can't wait.
Are you thinking about college?
Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to go West Coast, hopefully. That's the goal.
Okay, cool. So, what goals do you feel like, what do you need to be able to accomplish, right, getting everything that you need into this book?
So, I feel like this book is going to come a lot from prayer. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely want to start doing a lot of ceremony and just, going into ceremony, like doing Sundance next summer.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was actually planning on doing Sundance because, the underlying message of Sundance is to suffer and to be in pain and to endure that pain, and not for yourself, but just for other people. And everybody has their own reasons for sundancing. Like, people go into Sundance because they have a relative that's sick or, just is dying or something. But, I was planning on going into Sundance because I feel like it's going to be part of becoming an activist and becoming a voice. Just, enduring all this pain and all this suffering. And I feel like I just need to pray and I need to suffer, and just ask the spirits just what, because the spirits are from the earth. You'll just ask them what do they need to have people here? What do people need to see in this book? So that's my main goal, is just put in my all into prayer first. And through that prayer, I'm just going to get, what needs to be said. And then I'm going to put that down in the book.
How often do you meditate?
I don't feel like, because, meditation in these areas really has a different meaning than to most people.
Mm-hmm.
So the very commonly known method of meditation that people think about, sitting down cross-legged and just breathing, or yoga. I probably don't do that as much as I should. I do try, but, around here, my main method of meditating is just participating in ceremony and going to the sweat lodge, which I try to do at least once or twice a month, because it's part of preparing to Sundance and just disciplining yourself up into the months of Sundance.
Tell me about the sweat lodge. I've seen footage of it, but what are the experience? Because I know it gets really, really hot.
Yeah, so the sweat lodge, it's also in Lakota we say inipi. So the inipi ceremony, so ni in Lakota kind of translates as your spirit, or your energy. So the inipi is supposed to kind of replenish your ni, which is your energy. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to kind of cleanse you. So the sweat lodge is a circular lodge with a door, and it always faces to the east. So basically what you do is you have a medicine man who puts on rocks, and he puts them in a fire, and he lets them burn until they're cherry red hot. And this is because in our stories we believe that the rock, the spirit of the rocks and the stones, whose name is Ea, he's the one that created the earth. It's just Ea, and he bled out, and his blood became the water, and his body became the earth. So whenever we put these stones in the fire and they become cherry red hot, that's kind of putting energy back into Ea, into the rocks. And then you carry them into the sweat lodge, the little circular dome. You put them in the middle, and then it's usually about 4 rounds, each round lasting about an hour, or half an hour maybe. But it gets extremely hot. It's completely dark inside. You can't see anything except for the glowing red rocks. And the medicine man he pours water on the rocks, and it gets really hot. And he puts cedar on the rocks. Yeah, and you kind of sit in the blistering heat of the sweat lodge, and you're in this really extremely hot environment, and it causes you to suffer, which is kind of the theme of Inipi, is just to sit in darkness and sit in that heat and suffer. And through that suffering, it pushes you further and further into your prayer.
Wow.
So you kind of sit in there, you suffer, you feel the heat, you pray. And there's some really intense things that happens in there. I feel like every time I go into the Inipi, it's very refreshing, and it kind of just cleanses you whenever you come out of the Inipi. You crawl out on your knees, and you just feel like the cool air on the outside, especially in the winter. Whenever you come out, it feels amazing. The Inipi itself is supposed to represent the womb of the earth, and you crawl in on your knees, and you kind of go into the womb, and you metaphorically die, and you suffer, you pray, and whenever you come back out, you are metaphorically rebirthed as a new person, and it cleanses you, and you get rebirthed out of the womb of the earth.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah,
Like this whole, like the whole.
Is there a break? Like you guys just go
there's
straight
no
through?
break.
I'm with this.
There's no break.
No, there's it's between rounds. There's 4 rounds in the Sundance, or not the Sundance, but the Inipi, the Sweat Lodge. There's 4 rounds. You do the first round, and they open up the door and they let the cool air in, and you kind of just breathe and stretch out. Take a break. You drink some water.
Okay.
And then they close the door, and then you go on for the second round.
Wow, like the whole theme of it is it's such a beautiful poet. It's so beautiful poetically, and I'm just like, wow. I don't think I probably would if it was something that I would do, like if for me to do, I don't know if I would survive. Like, especially because growing up how we grew up is like we don't have
I would not be trained.
There would be nothing to train over. We would not be ready. But so it is 8:40, almost time for us to get off the show. Marcus, would you like to share your poem with us?
Yes, I have a poem ready that I picked. So this poem, I kind of wrote like in a time whenever I was just thinking like a lot about systems of oppression, and I did not feel like I was in a healthy place. I was just kind of mulling over suffering, and I wasn't letting that suffering express itself in a healthy way. So, I was just kind of driving myself crazy, and I felt like I was drowning in my own thoughts. So I wrote this poem. It was called Dear Adults.
Are you ready?
Dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was going to cut off our mics. Okay.
Dear adults, our robust minds are like hydrogen sulfide seeping into the chaotic landscape of America. Our minds are like Vietnam speakers booming, beholding linguistic napalm spewing gospels. We reverse the equations of consumerism synonymous with survival. We transverse these ideologies, weaving them under societal groundwork. We are drowning. We are drowning forever, drowning in the American dream, drowning in your red-drenched xenophobic battlefields, drowning in your white purity untouched by the grace of statistical homicide. Institutionalized gas chambers, drowning in your blue choke face, no oxygen. The days become redundant. Is there ever an end? Happiness for my ancestors was never spelt with an acronym of allegiance to a flag covered in the nihilism of isolation. This is a competition I never asked to be a part of. Our minds are the pedagogies of the oppressed. We breed racetrack curriculums to subjugate communities. We put friends against each other to see who can consume volumes of textbooks, Facebook love and deadened orgasms, genetic DNA, programmed under the guide of JavaScript. We fight to be acknowledged. Our minds are not hollow vessels awaiting your civilization.
Yay. Okay, I wasn't sure. Yes, that was beautiful. I was okay. So the mics were off. We were just really in our feelings the whole time. And just like, thank you so much, Marcus. That poem was wonderful. Can you tell us a little?
guys.
Can you tell us a little bit about what? Oh well, you did. Okay. I'm just happy. I get to talk to you again. I do miss you. I wish you were closer. I get to only see, just a few poets from time to time. But I'm glad I get to know so many from different, backgrounds and different places. And you definitely learn more, as you can see from this particular interview. And just talking to you, you just learned so much. And I appreciate you. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Definitely. I'm excited. Respect.
Yeah, thank you guys. I was really excited to be on here.
All right. So
we appreciate you. It's all love. This is such an educational show.
Super
for real.
dope.
So yes, we'll hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you again. This was our most educational one. Like, I'm just gonna keep replaying it so I could make sure I'm up on my stuff. All right, bye, Marcus. Thank you again.
You guys.
See you later.
I beg God.
Even though.
Oh my goodness, a poem.
Wow. Ooh. So I really dig that. Like, even though he had such a strong vibe to him, he was very stern and assertive. He's so chill.
It was wow. I didn't really even know what
it's
to
sort
say.
of chilling.
Yeah,
it's like he
really
knows what's up. But he's completely mellow about everything, and it's really I would be freaking out. I would be like, nah, I would be too harsh.
You'll be too harsh.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, man, we out in these streets.
Yeah, that's black people though. That's black people. Black people be like, this winning. But
it's the fire inside of us.
Sometimes I think I don't know if this is the right way to say this, but I do envy a lot of religions and a lot of cultures, because I feel like we lost that
coexistence.
Yeah, we definitely I
think religion is split.
Yeah, it's like we definitely lost that though. Watching all these traditions and stuff, it's like, I can't even.
Yeah, but respect to his spirit.
Yeah,
really, this land is his.
Yeah,
it's great though.
It is. It's very powerful. All right,
let's get to the last poems. This particular poem, Brave New Voices, Miami Opera.
Oh my gosh,
it's a really good poem. One of my favorites, and I know you all will enjoy it. Okay. This is SoapBOX Poetry Radio. Speak outside.
Wait, say where find us. Calm down.
I was like, you ain't a part of the show no more.
Oh my! You gonna let us say that?
No, but no, Tyler.
Both of y'all came out to cut at me.
No, Tyler, I did not.
It's cool. It's cool with me.
But no, Tyler's always going to be a part of the show. Whatever.
I'll come through.
No, you won't. Anyway.
Oh my gosh! Don't say it like that. I really might.
You really
I
might.
love y'all. I do love y'all.
You really
I'm gonna
might.
come off the air. Y'all just gonna see me on vlogs and stuff.
Okay,
y'all
cool.
should start a vlog.
Okay, anyway. You should stop telling me what to do.
I ain't telling you nothing.
I'm playing with you. Calm down. Anyway, where can they find you at, Carlos?
So sensitive, dog.
God.
What is he talking about?
That was so random.
I love how the beat dropped on that.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at LosG2. That's Los G2. Instagram LosG1. That's a Los. Letter G 1.
You knew. Y'all knew.
Nah.
So this is Tyler.
Nah.
You can follow me on Twitter at You're Not Cool Ty.
Nah.
Yes, I changed my name.
You did?
And
You're not cool.
You're Not Cool Ty. You're Not Cool TY. Please know how to spell your. So that is connected to my Instagram, Cozy Ty, COZI.TY, and yeah.
Okay, Liddy. Well, you can follow me everywhere but my house at Mechamorphosis, MECCA Morphosis. And don't forget to follow our guest today, Marcus Ruff, at Marcus_Ruff. He's dope.
And don't forget to vote us best radio show.
Oh yeah, vote for us at the Baltimore scene for best online radio show.
And vote for Mecca.
Vote for
Twice.
me for Under the Radar.
Yeah. Something else.
Huh?
What's the third
Oh yeah,
nomination?
and best group, youth group, the youth poetry scene, your best group.
Yep.
Yep. We out here doing awards and
Pretty
stuff.
sure y'all gonna win that one.
And please don't forget to follow. Yeah, because we're really dope. Anyway.
And for the go for it.
Go ahead.
No, don't forget to follow us on every social media. SoapBOX.
Yeah.
SoapBOX Poetry. I don't know why you saying us like you.
Because it's still my show. Fuck out here.
All right, bet. It's like, now let me stop playing with you.
Okay.
But yes, follow the show, follow Marcus, and get up on that.
Twitter
education.
games.
This is SoapBOX Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box.
I wrote my name on a piece of paper because a man was gonna come and bring me a piece of bread. I was gonna put the bread on the top of my head. He was trying to come and take my time. Trying to come and he was gonna come back and come back again and come back again. Memories have no home here. There are only faded film strips lost in the back of my eyes.
It is painful to decay, painful to forget without control.
I've seen people diminish into strangers in a matter of minutes.
Familiar places have become cold and foreign. This black is swallowing the city in my head. This parasite, Alzheimer's, is eating my memories and vomiting them back up at its leisure. Imagine forgetting how to
construct a sentence.
having language lost on your tongue.
The mechanics of time.
The weight of a stage watching your struggles turn to cinder.
Seeing my footprints vanish into vapor, how will I even know how far I came?
How do I even know I exist if there is no trail of my being? I have to remember everything.
How to eat.
How to dress myself. How to wipe the stench of urine from this body.
My name.
There are days when I forget my own name.
As if I didn't spend a lifetime
Reaching for God's lips.
hoping that I would find myself in the thread of his speech.
She is in my speech.
And there are days when all I can see is his face.
But I can't pronounce her name. She's my cousin. No, she's my neighbor. No.
But I know.
She had hands like cages made of bone, perfect for protecting my heart.
Night was never dark in his kiss. He had dream catchers for lips and dusk
in her skeleton.
I remember that I need the circles of his face.
I have to remember everything about her.
He's that one soul that I grew old with.
I don't recall.
When the progression of time caught up with our love.
They say I'm turning 73.
When the last thing I remember is our wedding day. It was a spring, I was 20 years old. It was a spring morning. And these were brown. And the sky was bright. No, listen, no, baby, listen to me. No, baby, listen to me.
These are red. Don't tell me they were brown. I know they were brown. I told you they were brown. I know they were red. To the beach, I'm walking. I'm walking.
My name is
memories are cages. I don't remember how they got here. I don't remember how they got here.
The J.R. Wood Group of Senior Life Insurance Company offers final expense life insurance coverage for individuals ages 0 to 85. To apply for coverage, no medical exam, no physical exam. Just answer a few simple health questions to qualify. Apply by phone or schedule an in-home consultation. We provide products to fit your needs and your budget. Just call the J.R. Wood Group today. And remember, we've got you covered. 1-800-971-8028. That's the J.R. Wood Group. 1-800-971-8028.
The book, titled Adulterated, chronicles the love affair between Adama and Ahmad in the riot-filled streets of Baltimore City. This Amazon bestseller tells a thrilling tale of a whirlwind romance, wrought with social and political drama. Adulterated is now available on Amazon.com. Sex, love, scandal, adulterated. Get it now on Amazon.com.
Saturn's rivers overflow with schools of frankincense and mermaids swimming sense of self to the soul. And sphinxes, they swim in Saturn's rivers, drenching the waters with ancient magic and the secrets of the Saturn Sutra. Secrets that could name the future and saturate the soul with stardust and samba of seasons untold. The future unfolds in Saturn's rivers, so I sailed my soul through the forethoughts of the forgotten and waded through windows of Om. Through meditation, I program my heart to beat breakbeats and hum bass lines on exhalation. Om. I burn 7-day candles that melt into 12-inch circles on my mantle and spin funk like myrrh. Om. And I can fade worlds in and out with my mixing patterns, letting the earth spin as I blend in Saturn. Niggas be like spinning windmills, braiding hair, locking, popping as the sonic force of the soul keeps the planets rocking. The beat don't stop when soulless matter flows into the cosmos trying to be stars. The beat don't stop when Earth sends out satellites to spy on Saturnites and control Mars. Cause niggas got a peace treaty with Martians, and we be keeping them up to date through sacred gibberish like show enough, and it's on. The beat goes on, the beat goes on, the beat goes on. And I roam through the streets of downtown Venus, trying to auction off monuments of Osiris's severed penis. But they don't want no penis in Venus, for androgynous cosmology sets their spirits free. And they neither men nor women be, but they be down with a billion niggas who have yet to see that interplanetary truth is androgynous. And they be sending us shout-outs through shooting stars. And niggas be like, what up? And talking Mars. Cause we are solar, and regardless of how far we roam from home, the universe remains our center. Like, I am no earthling. I drink moonshine on Mars and mistake meteors for stars because I can't hold my liquor. But I can hold my breath and ascend like wind to the black hole and play galaxophones on the fire escapes of your soul, blowing tunes through lunar wombs, impregnating stars, giving birth to suns that darken the skins that skin our drums. And we be beating infinity over sacred hums, spinning funk like myrrh until Jesus comes. And Jesus comes every time we drum, and the moon drips blood and eclipses the sun. And out of darkness comes the and out of darkness comes the and out of darkness comes the